Well, I thought before I went to all the trouble to make a mount for the new speaker that I should probably check it to make sure it's going to work and that it sounds okay. And, well, I thought the best way to do that was probably use jumper wires. If we look at the schematic, and if you remember looking at the transformer, the output transformer, the ground, there's only one wire going to the speaker, so they're using the chassis as the other connection, the ground connection, you could say, or the, to complete the circuit. Well, anyway, they are using the chassis. So what I've done is I desoldered the wire off of the back of the speaker, and I've got a jumper wire connected to it, the red one going to the positive. This speaker is actually marked, as most modern speakers are, positive and negative. One is wider than the other, one terminal is wider. The narrow one is almost, I think, is always the ground. The wide one is the positive. I think this was designed to be in a car. I think that's what they made it for, is like a replacement speaker for inside of a car. So let's turn it on and see. It's all hooked up, ready to roll. This speaker is eliminated out of the circuit. The wire is desoldered from it. The only thing connected to this speaker is the chassis connection. We'll turn this on. Wow, that seems awful high. I don't think we need the dim bulb tester anymore. Now, I haven't turned this on yet, so this is the first time I'm turning this on with this speaker. To be disciplined and not lazy. I love that. Some preacher guy, huh?
America's actual anchorman, Rush Limbaugh. You can leave him a note there. And I've heard that he really appreciates those. I've heard Rush himself say he loves to read those, and it's very meaningful, and he can feel the prayers as he continues to beat this thing.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Kate Cole's James Jones.
So down all the way.
Well, thank you, Todd, and thank you for having me. And
hardly, that's like half the...
My voice to the millions of America who are praying for Rush's health. And
that actually sounds pretty good.
And who count him as a true American.
I'll tell you, there's personalities of people who beat stuff like this, and that man beats stuff like this.
All right, so I think we can move on. I think now it's to start... to demount this speaker and to start fabricating a bracket for this speaker up here. Just got to get some measurements from the deck of this to the center, and then how far out from this mount to here, because I'm going to reuse this standoff. I'm just going to drill out these spot rivets back here. We'll take a look at it here real quick. Let's turn that off so I don't get shocked like an idiot I am. I'll show you the back side of this real quick if I can. I'll disconnect all of this. Let's get the speaker disconnected. We're not going to need that for a while. I need to figure out how to straighten out that. I got to figure out how to straighten this out. I think I might spray it with water, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get water. Which one's bending it? Is it, because they're sandwiched together right here? The backing for the antenna or the back part of the radio. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to try spraying this with water to start off with and see if I can make it soft and straighten it out. With this being here, I'm not, and and all this, I'm not going to be able to like put it in between two pieces of wood. So I'm going to have to figure something out. So maybe I can put something here and then something here to try and straighten it out. I'm not sure. Maybe 3 equal sized boards, and then maybe 3 equal sized boards and then something with some weight to come down on it. We'll see. I'll figure something out. Pardon me. Let's take a look at this speaker mount. Okay, so let's spin this around all the way here. There's the back side. And you can see those spot rivets. Right here and here. Maybe we can get a better look at those. I'm sure we can get a better look. Yeah, you can see them there. Drill out these 2 spot rivets, and then the bracket itself is screwed to the chassis. This L bracket that these spot welds are on is screwed to the chassis. So I'll be able to take the 2 screws out and then go drill these 2 holes out. And I think my plan is to take a piece of flat bar and make a cross this way with these 2 holes. And then I'll take 2 pieces of flat bar and go this way and this way. And then I will use long screws and standoff, some sort of spacer between the 2 upright flat bars. So I'll have 4 bolts on this speaker. I was thinking about fabricating new mounts and coming down here, you know, just making I guess an S or a stepped bracket so it clears the. Let's bring it back around this way so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see that the speaker needs to clear the dial indicator. So my thought was maybe I could take some flat bar and bend it and then come, you know, and drill new holes in the chassis. And then I would just have mounts on the bottom. I think this would work better up here. That way we ensure the height. We don't drill any new holes in this, because it's pretty crowded underneath. I mean, it's not super crowded, but I mean, there's quite a bit going on underneath. And I don't want to drill something. So I think the flat bar and the 2 pieces of flat bar this way and standoffs is going to work just fine. So when I get that done, we'll come back and take a look at my progress or my work. So, all right, until next time. At least we know the speaker works. Or is gonna work. I just got to get it mounted. Well, I got the bracket fabricated. Also have the old bracket separated from the old speaker. The 2 speakers. Let's move these. Here are the brackets. How I'm gonna do this, and our spacers and bolts. We'll assemble this here in a second. Wanted to compare the 2 speakers to each other real quick. There is quite a height difference. This is a lot narrower, a lot shorter, but other than that, they're pretty much identical. This one does use the there's only 1 wire going to this, so I'm going to have to add a wire to the radio for the ground. As we can see if I turn this over. 2 wires, 1. So this was using the mount through the spot welds through these 2 bolts in the chassis for the to complete the circuit for the voice coil from the output transformer. So let's assemble the bracket here. Let's get that out of the way all the way. Let's get that out of the way. Let's start with this. I guess I should start with the little drawing I made. I took some measurements and wrote them down. So from the face to the inside of the bracket, and then from the inside of the speaker to the inside of the bracket, from the center of the speaker to the, I think this measurement wasn't to the bottom, I think it was to the inside of the bracket. I need to change this drawing a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. We'll just double check these measurements after we get it assembled. I have not put this together yet, so what I did is I bought some flat bar, coated flat bar, so I don't have to paint it, and I drilled holes in them after making measurements. So we'll start with the cross piece first. I don't think it matters. I like that way better. I like that way better. So I'm using number 8, 32 by 3/8 machine screws, nuts, and star washers. Take a few seconds here to assemble this. We'll make a final tightness on this. I'm going to check the square. Make sure that upright square. I don't want the speaker sitting in there crooked, even though the old one might have been. So I use this little plastic square that I've got. This is sitting flat here. I don't know if you can see, but that is off a little bit. There. That's pretty square there. So we'll tighten these down a little more. I think I can go ahead and tighten these up all the way. And we'll double check the square after we get them tight. We'll double check to see how square it is. Come on. Seriously? That's pretty tight. Okay, that one's pretty tight. Yeah, square enough. Well, you can't get a shot. I can't show you that, but it's square. So now we shall put these on. Yes, yeah. Start with this. Put this. Put a lock washer. I'll leave those so they can move yet. Lock washer. Okay, that can still move. Alright, we set that off to the side now. Bring the speaker over. So when it's the way it was before, the electrical connection, when the speaker was installed, the electrical connection was on this side. So I'm going to keep it that way because that wire's long enough to come over the top. I could put it in this way and shorten up the wiring, but I'm going to stick with the way they did it for some reason. I don't know if it matters, but that's the way they did it, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Probably have a pretty good idea on how this is going to work now. All right. Okay. So I think it's gonna, yeah, when I turn, yep, this is right. Look at this one, this one, this one. And this one. Lock washer and a nut. Just get one of these started and keep it from being able to tip over. Now it'll all just really stay together on its own now. This is going to get really rigid once I tighten these screws up and once the and I get it into position. Just finger tight for now. Oh man, allergies are really messing with me now. Alright, so you can see the bracket, center of the speaker. This should be pretty close to the center of the speaker. So I think these need to be really tight. I don't know if that's going to bother me or not, if those two spacers are not lined up perfect. Some things bother me and some things don't. I don't know if I can get them perfect, because when I go to tighten them, they're gonna seek their low spots. I've broken these number 8 screws when they're long like this, snapped them right in half with a screwdriver before. So, right. Mounted to the bracket. Will it stand up on its own? Oh, look at that. Got the weight right. So there's not too much weight out here because the magnet's back here more towards the, over the center of the bracket, so it can stand. How tippy is it? So it's not perfect. I see this bracket is a little bit bent, but that's the way it was when I got it. That's the way it was when I started. So there it is. That's pretty cool. Let's check the measurements. So it's supposed to be 3 11/16 between here and the center of that. So we can use this veneer caliper, set it for 3 and 11. There's a half, 5/8, 11. So that's pretty close to the center. Pretty close to center. Come on. I don't think a couple of thousandths is going to make a difference there. What's the other difference? 2.21. We can use the digital one for that. So .22. That's pretty good figure and not bad. I took into consideration the thickness, you know, of this piece and this piece together, right? So it came up to 2 inches exactly. So, I mean, that's, you can't get much better than that, 2.21. So now overall should be 2.3, and it's from the outside to the outside. And I think I included this lip. I don't remember now. I must not have. 2.31. So I think it's going to fit into the radio just fine. So I'll get the chassis back on the bench and we will screw it. Pardon me. We'll screw the chassis back down. We'll hook up the wires I'll have to fabricate a new wire. I think that 22 gauge wire I have here is going to work. I wonder if I have a chunk already. I think we'll use black. We'll use black. We'll have to run it down to the bottom of the chassis and tie it to one of the ground lugs on one of the tube sockets, I think. Was going to be probably a good spot, or I could run it back over to the solder pool where they connected the output transformer to the chassis. That might not be a bad place to do it, to stick it in that pool of solder if I can get that hot enough with my iron without getting out the big gun. We'll see. We'll see. I thought I was going to need these, so I drug these out, and I did not need them. I was able to measure everything. I thought I was going to have to clamp stuff in place, you know, because it would be an oddball measurement when I was doing this, but it all ended up being pretty even measurements, not too far off. So I can put these back where I got them, and I will get the chassis back up here, and we will pardon me, we will install the speaker back into the radio. Be back in a minute. I got the wires hooked up to the speaker now. Ran a new wire for the other side of it that wasn't there before. We'll take a look at that real quick and lay it on its back. Come on, quit fighting with me. Blankety blank thing. I don't know if you can see it. No, you cannot. But I ran the new wire up here where they soldered the other wire on. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, I got the camera plugged back in. And we will plug it in and see how the speaker sounds. Get a few things out of the way here. Make sure there's nothing going to get caught when I plug that in. And I gotta go this way. Okay. No antenna. Gotta hook the antenna up. Boy, wake up, boy. Wake up! You think this is a free holiday? Okay. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Let's go. See. It's like, why isn't it making noise? You gotta have the antenna hooked up. Without the antenna, it don't make noise. Amazing. Oh boy, I tell you, some people's kids, huh? Especially the ones that didn't get taught the right lessons. And they got an award for playing soccer. Just for being there. They got an award. And we'll go ahead and hook up the external antenna loop. Even though we're not going to have it hitched up. We'll still have it there. Okay. Take two. The antenna is now connected. It's making noise.
This was that guy who, he along with Wayne Cody at Cairo, when Cairo Radio and TV were both together. In fact, before just about everybody's time that's over there now, but I certainly remember it. We were playing at Third and Broad, and so part of my job was doing not only radio for color commentary for the Seahawks, but television sports as well. And so to be able to work with Pete for years.
Walk around.
How do the Chazanians feel about him?
I don't know if it's Chazanians yet.
Oh, we haven't Shazatonian?
A target on the back.
Getting close to 1,000.
A little more consistent. I think he was just trying to find his breaking ball a little bit, but the velocity started to come a little bit. He was, I think.
2 from the Boeing Freeway past Highway 2 up towards the Snohomish River. Your next Como traffic at 344.
Well, the rain continuing around much of the Puget Sound area. Let's get to the Como Eco Roof forecast now. And Como meteorologist Kristen Clark.
Light showers will soon come to an end across Puget Sound, likely around the middle part of the afternoon. And eventually these rain clouds will begin to break apart, allowing more sun to shine across Puget Sound around tonight at 9:07. While we see a brief break in the rain for most spots into early scattered showers are set to return throughout the day tomorrow, and there's even the potential for maybe a pop-up thunderstorm Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning showers could linger.
So it sounds okay.
We can accommodate all their requests.
Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Clark.
We're seeing rain around the central Puget Sound, heavy in some spots, including around the Arlington area, also up the Kent Valley and towards Maple Valley. The current temperature in downtown Seattle, though, with light rain, 55 degrees. Como News Time, 3:36.
Stocks went wild on Wall Street today after the Dow dropped more than 1,800 points yesterday. How much are coronavirus concerns driving the numbers? Caleb Silver, editor-in-chief of Investopedia, joining us on the Como Newsline from
Immediate future. You can't.
Members who are courageously protesting against police violence.
So now President Trump is threatening working class folks, people of color, and the entirety of Seattle. The president is talking about getting control
Jason
of the
Rance.
6-block radius of Capitol Hill after we've decided
The
as a
gay
city,
conservative.
or I guess the city decided, I didn't decide, to cede over this land. And now it's become a war with the entirety of Seattle. And it's especially interesting where she says Donald Trump threatened Seattle. She threatens people all the time. She threatens
Several games. I would imagine his work ethic was crazy. Describe it.
I think the speaker sounds pretty good. I think what's next now, probably alignment. Might start on the alignment now. I need to get that antenna and that back piece straightened out somehow. I got to figure that out. Not sure what I'm going to do there. I got to find some wood or something. Got to get that wet and try and straighten it out. I don't want to separate the antenna from that backing. Plus, I need to get some some thicker aluminum maybe to try and make these corners back whole again somehow. I'll figure it out. And when I do, I'll show you. But I think that speaker mount turned out pretty good. I haven't tried it. We haven't tried it in the cabinet yet, but according to the measurements, it's exactly where the old one was. So it should fit in the cabinet. Should fit in the cabinet pretty well. I'm not too worried about that right at this moment. I think, like I said, I think the next step is going to be the alignment. I don't know if I'm going to order this SJ, this 12 SJ or not. I've been thinking about it. It's only like $3. So the shipping's going to cost more than the tube. So if I have any doubts whatsoever, I should probably order a couple of tubes in the future. I'm going to look at some of the other radios I have. I still haven't got the bulbs. Yeah, I ordered the neon bulb for that for the tube tester, the 625 tube tester, and they're screw-in bulbs, and I ordered them online from, I won't say the name, Bulb Town. They took 2 weeks before they even shipped the bulbs, and I made a pretty good sized bulb order. I ordered any 51s. They come with the they're the bayonet type B69 or something base, and this is what they sent me. I did call and talk to the lady, and she was very nice, and she said she was going to send me the correct neon bulbs, and that I should keep these, not worth sending back. So I've got some neon bulbs now that can go on circuit boards. For what reason, I don't know, but I have them now. When I get the neon bulbs, we'll start working on that tube tester again. I think all I got to do is put the cord in it and put a new electrical cord on it, which I have new electrical cord, and a connector. I've got a brand new connector for it. And we'll put the neon bulb in it, and I painted it. We'll look at that when it comes time. So the bulbs will be here next week. So we'll be working on that. I should be able to possibly finish this before those bulbs showed up. Depends on this, how much trouble this is going to be, this antenna. Because I think that's the next major step, is repairing that antenna. I might do that before I do the alignment, just to have the antenna mounted to the back here where it's supposed to be when I do the alignment. So I know it makes a difference in the antenna. It does make a difference on how the radio works, how close it is to all of this. So, and I did lube this. I did lube the movement, the tuner bearings. So it works pretty smooth. It gets right there, right at the end. It's the only time the string really gets slack. We can turn it this way so you can see the spring. We'll bring the light, so we can bring the light this way more. So now if you watch the spring, obviously it's not going to get tight now, right? It's not going to stretch, but when we come back this way, the spring doesn't move until it hits the end of the tuner. Right there's the end of the tuner. So it does move a little bit there. I could take a couple of rings off of this, cut this back, so that the tension is so it still moves a little bit. I don't know if it's really that important. It's not going anywhere. It works really well. I think it works just fine the way it is. So all right, we'll get back to it. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment down below and see what you think of that speaker mount. Tell me what you think of that speaker mount. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's going to work just fine. It's an easy solution. I think it works. Thanks for watching.